Hi, welcome to r/memes, the original since 2008. If you try to fail and succeed, did you fail or succeed? He gets zapped out of the earth. He was asking too many questions, sir. We had to eliminate him. Do you ever think that? Like you're just having like too many thoughts and you're just like, okay. Or like you're discovering like what's outside and you're just like, am I supposed to know this? And you're just like starting to see outside the system and you're just like, I know too much. Who's listening? Am I okay? I'm good. Oh, this guy's on fire. College is hard. How I feel submitting that essay that exactly at exactly 11:59, knowing that it's only halfway done. Is that Ludwig? Yeah, that's Ludwig. He's pretty cool, that guy. You're just like, I'm not done. Yeah, I can hand it in. Like I didn't even have to do this essay. I could have just handed you a blank slate of paper. I could have just handed you something that, like, I could just write stuff on paper. Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm sorry, I didn't get to finish my masterpiece. I had a big finale, but I guess I had to hand it in. Me, every time I see a deer, look, there's a majestic deer! I remember growing up in like in the early 2000s there, like I'd be riding around with my grandma. Like I grew up in the bush essentially, so I grew up in, so like I'd be like walking around the yard and like I'd see a deer almost every day. Like I'm pretty sure when I lived out there, there was even a freaking beaver that just came running across the yard, just like, and it's just like I opened the door. I was gonna take a picture of him, but he ran off into the bushes. And there'd be like moose and like all kinds of like majestic. I had a pretty cool owl friend that you'd wake up in the morning and then you'd look out and go see him and you'd just be like, you're wise, and he would just be like. He'd turn his head completely and it's just like, okay, now buddy, you're just showing off. But anyways, back to the early 2000s there. My grandma, she would get my grandpa to stop, grab that Polaroid or not Polaroid, but like the film camera. She'd pull it out of her purse, like wind it up. She's like, okay, you can keep going, just for a picture of a deer. But it was a nice deer. It's a deer. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm that guy. A bear, yes. But if you see a bear, run. Don't be taking pictures of it, and don't be feeding them either. If you see wildlife, don't feed it. If you see a nice raccoon, don't pet it. We're living in a world where it just like, didn't we hear not to pet that rodent? That's a possum. You're petting it like it's a cat? Huh. Well, son of we's living in different times. Huh. What do I know? My dad is a machine that turns this into this. No, I turn that into that. And I drive a V8 pickup truck, so I have to fill up at about, I don't know if my mouse is gonna show, but here. I have to fill up about here, because otherwise like it goes from like if you fill it up at about a half a tank, it's about $72 or like $70, $80. And then if you fill it up at empty, you're looking at about $140. But I chose to get a pickup truck, and honestly, I have no regrets buying or driving the pickup truck. Here's a picture of my pickup truck. I like showing it off. I did some renovations to it and I did some fixes to it. So, here's before. I fixed all the rust. I did a bunch of, or like it has rust, it has chrome, it has a chrome bumper. Here, it's all blacked out. I blacked out the chrome. I blacked out the bumper. I blacked out the rear bumpers. I fixed the rust. That costed a lot of money. And I repainted the whole box. And I just gave it my own fling. And so all I had to do was buy a little bit. The only thing that costed a lot was the Bondo. But my time is running out. I gotta roll out. See ya.